This is another One Play Wednesday edition. This is concerning the Jags defense against the Eagles in Week 4. Of course, we know they jumped out to a 12-0 lead. I think thanks to a turnover. The Eagles stormed back, eventually won. I think 29-20, 26-20 at home. If you've been watching my channel or paying attention to it much at all, you know I think very highly of the talent that the Jags have assembled on defense. Trayvon Walker, Josh Allen, Devin Lloyd. I want to talk about. I think this is the first play of the game, and it's this one's going to be a little long. This one's going to be at least 5 or 6 minutes. One Play Wednesday, I'm trying to hold that 5-minute cap, and sometimes it's a little shorter, but this one's probably going to be a little longer because I think the Jags made a tactical decision to take away some of the RPO game in certain situations. And what I mean by that is just force a particular read for Jalen Hurts and then try to defend or stop the run. Now, in this case, it doesn't work. Again, I think this is the first play of the game. Miles Sanders on a give, and Jalen Hurts is reading Devin Lloyd, who's right here. A lot to say about this in terms of the read and why Devin Lloyd is doing what he's doing. I think he's doing exactly what he's coached to do, to be honest with you. You may say, well, Coach, the ball is given to the running back, and Devin Lloyd's a linebacker. What's he doing? Well, yeah, if you wanted to just look at surface level, you could say that. I think the one thing about this that really intrigues me is that there has to be some formation understanding going on by Devin Lloyd and the guys on defense. Here we go. So this is the tight end. Eagles are a big 11 personnel team, but they use 12 some too. Let's say the tight end was here, outside the right tackle. Devin Lloyd could not do what he's doing right now because it could be a split zone concept where they leave this D end unblocked. I think this is Josh Allen. And then there's a mesh with the quarterback and the running back. So I'm going to get these lines off screen because there's going to be a lot of lines. So what would happen is if the tight end's feet were here and he was going and kicking that D end up there, Allen, then the running back, it's split zone concept, he could wind this thing back. And if Devin Lloyd widens up to take away the slant, then that's just going to exacerbate the hole that will probably be there. Hopefully that makes sense. So then why is he doing this? Well, because the tight end is not there. The tight end's up here, so that's the whole point. This is a high level of awareness, if you ask me, understanding there is no run threat here in terms of coming back to me. And what happens is by Devin Lloyd taking away the slant, and if you haven't been watching a lot of Eagles film, like the slant to A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith and the tight ends to a lesser extent, that's been a big route in the concept tree that the Eagles have been using. I've got probably 50 Jalen Hurts passes saved up. I'd love to produce a video on them because I'm a big fan of Jalen Hurts, big fan of the Eagles. You know, even though I'm a Ravens fan, obviously, first and foremost. But this slant has been a route that's been there a lot, and they've used to attack. So they're taking that away tactically to force a give read to the running back. You know, was it a bad decision? I don't know. I think Miles Sanders ran for 127 or 134. And if you look at the play charts, they're very different for this game than they were for most of the Eagles games earlier in the season. I think 2 possessions against the Lions, which I think was week 2, maybe it was week 1. The Eagles' play chart was like, if it was a 10-play drive, 9 of them were passes. They were just asking Jalen Hurts to make so many decisions in the pass game and not utilizing the RPO nearly as much as they did last year. So I think this is a tactical decision by the Jags when you have the back to your side, and it's a good one. You've got Trayvon Walker on the other side. He certainly can force the edge, meaning force the running back to go inside of him. You've got the nickel or bonus defender opposite of Devin Lloyd. And that's a big point here if you ask me. Most of the time, if you're going to run the RPO, it's going to be to the side of the running back. So you're going to run the RPO with the back crossing the face and then the slant possibly fitting in back here, depending on what that second-level defender does. And usually the second-level defender is an inside linebacker, right? The nickel defender is down here. Let's pretend for a moment that the back was on the right. Then you would get the slant here. Maybe you get something out in the flats, and the back would cross Jalen Hurts' face. This guy would now become the read, per se. Sometimes people will still read the inside backer, and he would take away the slant, forcing the give read. And then in any case, no matter how you do it, what you're looking to do is you're looking to get 4 defenders to the side of the run. And the Jags have done that. Even though tactically we may disagree with this decision, I think it was a good one to try to limit Brown and Smith, try to keep them from getting those chunk 10, 12, 14-yard plays on a simple slant. If this video is stuttering for you guys when I click back like that and restart it, please let me know. If it does, my apologies. I like to try to let you guys see things multiple times. Well, because if you're anything like me, I have to look at, the plays multiple times, and you can see the leverage that Devin Lloyd is creating. I think Devin Lloyd is a spectacular football player. And I'm sure somebody's going to come in and say, well, why do they have two high safeties here? Well, it's a spread formation, and the tight end is detached. So the tight end is split out wide as the number one receiver. It's kind of telling you that it's a pass formation, but then the Eagles are so versatile. The Eagles are so multiple, and their offensive playbook and what they can execute is so deep that they can just go ahead and run the RPO on you. I think that's what makes them, if not the most dangerous offense in the league, definitely one of the top 3 or 4, most dangerous offenses in the league. The multitude of concepts they can execute and the talent level of the guys on those concepts. So what I mean is, Miles Sanders is a really underrated running back. All right, so we'll talk about him. He's talented. It's a cool concept. They give him some space. He cuts it back for 9-10 yards. But the talent level of A.J. Brown running this slant, or even Devonta Smith. So they're packaging and creating these plays that will punish you no matter what, and it will punish you with talented guys. And I think the Jags made what was for them at the time a tactical sound decision to take away that backside slant, force a give read as much as possible, and force the Eagles to execute up and down the field in terms of the run game. And I think they did that. If you look at the play scripts for the Eagles before this game against the Jags, some of the possessions were totally flipped in the Jags game. So what I mean is I think I've got 5 possessions that are like I referred to earlier. 10 plays and 9 of them are passes, or maybe 8 of them are passes. And then in this game against the Jags, and if you're an Eagles fan listening, you can correct me where I'm wrong on this. On this game against the Jags, it would be like a 9-play drive, and 6 or 7 of them were runs. And I think that was because the Jags were kind of trying to play a little bit more conservative defense in terms of the pass game, keep things in front of them, and not let Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, kind of get off. The unfortunate thing for them is that the Eagles have a high-level offensive line, extremely high-level offensive line, and they are going to be able to execute those plays up and down the field. Let me know what you think of this video. I know it went on a little longer, trying to give people an in-depth look at certain concepts and how they fit in the NFL, and maybe make some guesses or somewhat educated guesses about why the Jags defense was doing what they were doing on the first play of the game. Appreciate you guys' time.